Well, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, I should say. It's time to plant some beets. They've been in the tray way longer than they should have because of the cold spell. I got the bed prepped, and yeah, they suffered in this little tray. I've never planted beets in a tray before, so we'll see how they come out. But they've been in here too long because of the cold, so we are gonna try to get them in the ground before the rain comes today. And I forgot my dibbler, so let's get us a little dibbler going on here. I don't know if you can even see me. Yeah, there we go. Alright. We'll make sure that we put the spacing a little bit more than what we did before, because that didn't work out too good. They were too close together. So can you see me? Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna bring you in closer so you can see what I did before I put them in the ground. Trying to get to where I'm a little bit more consistent with the videos, but it doesn't always work out the way you want it to. So we'll see what we can get accomplished today before the rain sets in. Save myself some money on the water bill. And we're gonna let God water it for us. There we go. Yeah, almost to the end. Now, this is an experiment. I've never tried to grow or start seeds from beets from a tray. And if you've watched any previous videos, you know this is the only second time I've ever planted them. So, until we figure out the right way, I guess every time I do this, it's going to be a little different. Okay. Huh. We're going to start out with some of the better looking ones. That cold spell really threw me off schedule. This may not work out at all, y'all. Huh. Let's see. Hope it works out, because I don't have any more beet seeds to start. Let's see. I'm pulling it down just a tad bit more. There we go. Now, let's get them in the ground. I'm going to come back in once they take off. And I'm going to thin them out. Oh. I'm going to come back in and secure them once we get them laid out. take a minute. YouTube says that people like longer videos. I'm not sure about that, but I guess we're gonna try it. I'm gonna let you come through the whole process with me. I tried to only plant one seed at a time in these trays so I wouldn't have to thin them, but that didn't work out. So I'm gonna have to come back and thin them once they get situated in here. Oops. There we go. I'll have to excuse my breathing. I have asthma. Sometimes catching a breath when it's really humid isn't that easy. See if I can turn around this way so you can see a little better. Did y'all enjoy the cold? Because I surely didn't. When you live on the Gulf Coast, that cold, frigid air ain't easy to deal with, especially when you didn't grow up in it. Hope everybody fared well. No busted pipes. All that good mess. So, I had me a busted pipe, so still working on getting that fixed. But thank God it was outside for a spigot and not in my house. So that worked out good. I had to have a busted pipe. I'd rather it be around a spigot that's outdoors than me have to get up underneath there and totally destroy the underneath of my house, taking all that felt paper down. So, let's see if we can get some of this. This one's kind of bent over. Well, I guess we'll see if this one takes. I ain't gonna guarantee this gonna work, folks. Like I said, this is my first time trying it in a seed tray. Most people don't recommend it, but when you're learning, like I am, and some of the more conventional ways are a lot harder for you than it is for others, you try to work around situations like that. Don't give up. Just use your brain and think out of the box. You know, there's an old saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I know that don't sound good to some people, but it's true. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Everybody has their own area on how they do things. But you know what? At the end of the day, if it works and it puts food on your table, go for it. That's all you can do. You know, the worst thing somebody can tell another person is they can't do something. Because that's going to make one or two things happen. Either they're going to prove you wrong, or you'll make them give up something that they could truly use that would benefit them. So don't discourage somebody if they're doing something that's good for themselves or for someone else. We need to be charitable to one another instead of always griping and fussing. You know, at the end of the day, People are going to need each other, especially with the way things are going. The last thing you want to do is alienate one of your neighbors, family, or friends in case you need them. Now, that's not to say you need to compromise your morals or anything like that. You can guide them in loving ways if you feel that you're right. But before you decide to do that, I'd pray on it just to make sure you're the one that's in the right. Everybody's situation is different. Alright. I may not have enough beets that are good enough to put there, but we're going to try. Where'd my little dibbler go? Ah, shoot. Okay, well, we'll just use this one. Okay, we got a few more left. Thing about beets I've noticed is that you can't separate them out of the cell like you can onions. Once they're there, they're there. And you can't disturb the roots too much or they won't come out. Now, beets like boron, so when you feed them, make sure you have a fertilizer that has boron in it, because they do like it. I learned that through the first round. I didn't have any, or at least not enough anyway in the stuff that I was using. So I went and got some borax. And when I feed them, I'll put like a quarter of a teaspoon into like 2 gallons. That way I'm not overdoing it, because you don't want to overdo it. It's best to find a feed that has it in it, so you don't have to worry about putting too much, because that is one of the things you can't put too much of. So be careful with it. It's better to not have enough than too much in certain situations, and this is one of them. And besides, I've got heavy clay soil. I don't really have to add that many nutrients to it anyway. It holds them pretty well. And the land that I'm on has a layer of shell underneath it, so that gives me plenty of calcium. As the shells break down, it's not readily available, no, but considering how long they've been under and how deep they are, I'm pretty sure that through the process of erosion and all of that there's plenty left in the soil. I've grown watermelons and didn't have a problem with blossom end rot, so it tells me that I'm doing okay in the calcium area. Okay, let me see if I can grab you and take you along, let you get a good look at it real quick. Let me see if you can see that. Can you see that? There we go. We'll put them about 5-6 inches apart. And there we go. Now I'm going to close them all up. And we're going to see how this works. It's about to rain, so I don't have to worry about watering it in. If you can't tell, we got cloud cover like crazy. Burying it just up to the top of the cell. You don't want to put them too deep. Well, there's the hat. And the microphone. Alright. There we go. Now, when you plant this, everybody says do a soil test, and I'm not against that. Some people just don't have it in the budget to get it done, though. But your pH level is really important for your uptake on your nutrients. So you do have to be mindful of that. Even if at some point you save up and get one of those little cheap meters from Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, an idea is better than being totally clueless. And I am still learning how to use them properly, so I can't give you any instructions on that. I've gone to the website for burnt bees and everything else, and they do not say. So, from what I've seen other people use with them, the soil needs to be wet for it to actually take anywhere close to proper reading. So keep that in mind. I wish I knew a good place to tell you and had some good instructions on how to use them, but I haven't found one myself yet, so that's still in the process. Oh, I missed a hole. Oh well, that's okay. Alright, guys. We got another round of beets planted. These are the darker boar beets. They're the dark red ones. So, yep, we're going to get a good rain some tonight. It's supposed to start tonight, so that'll water that in really good. I've got asperbrock and broccoli and cauliflower and some more radishes and some more romaine lettuce is growing because that freeze knocked mine out completely. And some of the things sprouted, and some of them didn't. But one thing I have learned is in the wintertime, they don't always sprout at the same time. So instead of just taking all these out and planting them and then getting rid of what didn't sprout, I've learned to let it sit there for a few more weeks. Because I've had lettuce take almost a month and a half to sprout. Not sure what that was about, but it did. But eventually it worked, and that's what counts. So, alright guys, that's the beet planting. Now if I could just keep the cats out of my garden, we'll be doing alright. Alright, y'all have a good one. Don't forget to check your pH level. If I'm not mistaken, I think the pH requirement for these types of beets are right around 6.5, which that's just a general rule of thumb. I think a majority of plants like that. And there are some who do like it a little bit more bitter, like onions, blueberries, stuff like that. But your leeks, your garlic, chives, and I'm sure there's a few others. But yeah, make sure learning how to succession plant is one of the best things you could do, especially if you're trying to share, keep everything going, keep something ready to harvest at least within a week or two of each other. So, yeah. Alright guys, y'all have a good one. Don't forget to say your prayers and look up every now and then, because you'd be surprised at what you see. And yeah, take care of yourself and be a little more charitable to one another. God likes that. Have a good day. Deus in te speravi.